Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and the Final Shape / Echoes intel. And today, once again, is Friday, so we have our Friday weekly update. Xur has returned, as well as Trials of Osiris. So I'll give you a brief rundown on those two things, as well as all the other farms, glitches, and cheeses that you might want to use heading into the weekend. There are some big changes to certain exotics this week that I'll give you a brief update on, as well as some other really great farms and some glitches to use in those farms if you haven't had a chance to play at all this week. But to start off, Xur can be found in the tower in his usual spot. And is that Fallout Plays hanging out here? Interesting. In any case, for today and for the course of the weekend, Xur is selling. We have our rank rewards as usual. And then we have the Polaris Lance Exotic Catalyst. This is a must-have. Pretty amazing to see this for sale from Xur. The Polaris Lance is really an amazing weapon, especially in GM Nightfalls, as this can do most damage to, I think, the biggest variety of champions because of the perk pool. And if you have the right build, it was really one of the things that was helping me out the most in the last season of last year. So pick up the Polaris Lance Catalyst, very versatile weapon all around. And then we have one that I think maybe a little bit more niche, but certainly interesting that I haven't seen or haven't really thought about in a while. We have the Jotun Catalyst. And I really like the Jotun. I think it's one of those weapons that when it was good, everybody used it. And since it hasn't really been the meta weapon in a while, I think people have kind of forgotten about it. I know I've forgotten about the toaster a little bit. But pick it up if you don't have it. You never know if this weapon is going to be super meta again. I'd like to actually maybe go out and do some damage testing with this, because it is such an easy weapon to use. And with the right build, especially with Prismatic, I'd like to know maybe how it works. There was some interesting effects that this would have that I don't think were intended with strand builds when they first came out. So maybe with Prismatic, it might even kick it up another notch. But in any case, Polaris Lance, very versatile. Definitely one of those things that will help you get through endgame content like GMs. And Jotun, just fun. As far as exotics go, we have, for armor, we have the Stompies for the Hunter class with a 68 roll, and I think this is actually a pretty good stat distribution all around. Sort of across the board medium as far as, you know, we have 14 mobility, 11 resilience, 10 recovery, 10 discipline. Nothing really a major standout, but that's also not a bad thing, as 68 is a very high roll, and you could build into this pretty easily, especially with the ability to like masterwork your armor now. So you get that extra stat slot. And yeah, 68 stats, you can build into this really the way you want, kind of a blank slate. For the Titan, we have the Peregrine Greaves, which I haven't found myself mentioning a lot. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about using this that much, but bonus damage on airborne shoulder charge. I'm not totally sure if this is like meta at the moment. It's not the greatest stat distribution. Mobility is kind of wasted. Strength is pretty good. 64 is somewhat low though, so let me know if this is an exotic that you've found yourself using at all, maybe in the past 6 months or so if you're on a Titan, but I think you could probably skip out on this one this week. And then we have the Skull of Dire Ahamkara with a 67 roll. That's pretty good. I actually don't think this is a terrible stat distribution with decent recovery and decent resilience, as well as decent intellect, though again, I don't find myself using this particular exotic that often, and I play on a warlock all the time. So 67 is a good stat roll, but of the three, I think the Stompies are probably the biggest standout this week. We do not have, unfortunately, another piece of Artifice armor for sale this week. This is why it was a big deal last week and why I really wanted to make mention of it and say that it was a big deal that Xur actually sells Artifice armor now, even though I heard about it in the comments of people saying, it's not a good roll. Yeah, but it was Artifice Armor. And it was a decent roll once you upgraded it. And if you don't have a piece of Artifice Armor, any piece of Artifice Armor is probably going to be better than a non-piece. So always pick up the Artifice Armor if you see it for sale, if you're someone who doesn't already have a better piece available. This week we have 3 Vanguard Engrams. Yay. See what you get from those. Hopefully we'll have another piece of Artifice Armor next week. Over on the second page, remember, we have our exotic cipher. Pick it up if you don't have it. Now, on to the strange offerings. We have this week, we have Ascendant Alloy for sale for 41 strange coins, 5 enhancement cores for 5 strange coins, 7 enhancement cores for 11 strange coins, 17,377 Glimmer for 5 strange coins, and then we have 30,000 Glimmer also for 5 strange coins. Interesting. So yeah, don't waste your money on this one. I don't know if that's a bug or a glitch or something, but that's kind of weird. I would have thought it would have been like 11 strange coins because they've been keeping with this sort of everything is a prime number. So the offering is a prime as well as the cost. But in this case, yeah, just don't buy this one. Buy this one. Buy it now. Definitely buy this now because that's a lot of Glimmer for just 5 strange coins, especially when I don't think it was intended. This might get fixed. Who knows? Or maybe it's just Xur being weird, and that's just how Bungie wants Xur to be at this point. Just kind of a strange guy who gives you offers that don't make sense. Hey, I'm all for it. Get 30 Glimmer for 5 strange coins right now, though. Don't know if it's a bug. Let's hope it's not. We have our Favor of the 9, of course, and I did want to talk about this just again briefly because I sort of had it wrong. I thought that you needed to re-up the buff every single time you wanted to get a stack of 3. So once you bought one, that was one. You had to buy another and have both activated at the same time in order to get 2 and 3. It doesn't work that way. If you buy one every single weekend, you can get up to 3. So every single time it runs out, so long as you've bought another one, it will refresh and add a stack to it. So if you've bought one of these every weekend so far, you should be able to have a 3 stack. That means you'll get 3 strange coins for every one that drops this weekend if you've been doing it. So plenty of strange coins. I also think that the best farm for strange coins, if you want to know, is just doing regular strikes, and some specific strikes are actually better than others. If you'd like to know about the best strange coin farm, let me know in the comments section down below. We also have our strange gift for 1 strange coin. This is really odd, though, I have to say. I'm just gonna get it just because, just to say I did. I mean, when are you gonna see a price like that? That is dirt cheap. That is highway robbery. Thank you, Xur. And now on to our strange gear offerings. So, this week, our exotic weapon, other than the Hawkmoon with Eye of the Storm, we have an exotic engram. We have the Monte Carlo. Fun. Pick it up if you don't have it. Weapon damage reduces melee ability. Cooldown. Used to be a go-to for Titans who just like to punch everything. Don't know if it's the meta at the moment, though I can say it's probably not bad. 600 RPM auto rifles are not in a terrible place. We have the Prometheus Lens, everybody's original. This was the original glitch weapon in D2. Well, maybe the Telesto was, but this one came very close after. If you remember laser tag, let me know in the comments. Leave a hashtag laser tag in the comment section down below for another entry into the future giveaway on this YouTube channel. Remember, we do one every 1,000 subscribers, and we're getting very close to 80,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for all the support. But the original glitch weapon, not anymore, unfortunately. But like I said, if you do remember the heyday of the Prometheus Lens when it was first released, in my opinion, that was kind of the turning point for D2, because up to that, we'd only had Curse of Osiris, and that was universally panned. Nobody liked it. And sometimes just one little glitch into a weapon gets people interested again, and I don't think it was very long after this that we started to kind of turned the page on the Curse of Osiris curse, and the game became more likable, more playable, more fun again. I believe the Whisper mission, which was, I think, everybody's big reference of the turning point of D2, didn't come along after this. So pick it up if you don't have it, though I don't think it really is an important weapon for either PvP or PvE at the moment. But we also have the Wardcliff Coil rocket launcher, and this is an interesting one because certain bosses in this game, at least it used to be, are not coded as bosses. They're coded as vehicles. And when you come across one of these bosses, this weapon, bar none, does the most damage. I don't know why, but just the way it's coded, the way the enemy is coded. I could think of a couple of bosses offhand. The one in Devil's Lair used to be that way, though I think they fixed it. There's also another Vex boss. I think it was the Hypernet Current also had the same thing going on. I don't know if Bungie have changed these things, but you know, there's always a new boss to the game every once in a while. Who knows how it's going to be coded. Good weapon to have just on the off chance that you get an end game activity that is not working properly or is not coded properly, and you can make it through much easier with a weapon like this in your arsenal. So I think it's a good one to have, though maybe not the most essential one to have at the moment. For legendary weapons, we have a 7th Seraph sidearm with full auto trigger and surrounded. Full auto is a completely wasted perk at this point. We have the Death Adder with dynamic sway reduction and quick draw. We have an ignition code with quick draw and vorpal weapon, maybe not a bad pickup. We have a Soul Survivor with rapid hit, vorpal weapon, and disaster plan. We have a 7 Seraph Saw with field prep and elemental capacitor. We have the Memory Interdict with quick draw and chain reaction, and then we have an Eternity's Edge with Infinity Guard, Tireless Blade, and counterattack. Interestingly, nothing is a deep sight activation weapon this week, so that kind of stinks. For legendary armor, across the board on the Warlock, sort of mid-tier kind of stuff. Nothing really over 65. Well, chest piece isn't too bad, but the stat distribution is kind of low. So, yeah, kind of throwaway legendary armor, at least for the Warlock this week. Let me know in the comments section down below if there was anything good for a Titan or the Hunter as far as legendary gear goes. And that is going to be it for all the information regarding Xur today. Now we're going to head over to Saint 14 really quick. Big shout out to my buddy Sinister and Iron Man for joining me in the tower today. If you didn't see them at the very beginning of the video, should be running past them now. On the way over to Saint 14, just a couple of brief updates. This exotic right here, the speaker site has been, I believe, disabled for PvP. So if you were planning on bringing that into Trials of Osiris this weekend, got to think again. Big issue with that particular exotic, I guess, with orb creation, and was creating a lot more orbs than it was supposed to. There's Iron Man. And yeah, it's been disabled at the moment. Also, Kvastov had a glitch with its sight. Apparently it was giving a lot more auto aim than it was supposed to. That has also been fixed. So if you were relying on those two weapons hopefully to get you through Trials this weekend, don't. One, you're not going to be able to bring with you, and the other, I think, is still good, that being the Kvastov. I think it's still going to be a really decent auto rifle, but it's not the same level of auto rifle as it was previous to this most recent patch. Though I think they did increase the aim assist to sort of counteract the decrease in, I don't know exactly what it was, but whatever the bug was that was allowing it to get easy headshots, that was fixed, and they've increased the aim assist to hopefully keep it as still an S tier weapon. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out after this weekend. Now, the Trials map for this week, I believe, is the new one that looks very big. Looks very Vex-like. Can't remember the name of it at the moment. Let me know in the comments section down below. But the weapon for this week is the Xur's Wrath Adept. So, I know that people who play Trials a lot are going to be out in force in order to get this weapon this week. So, if you're somebody who doesn't play that often, maybe a little bit novice, you're not going to have the benefit of those 2 exotics that I just mentioned. Maybe stay out of Trials, because as far as I remember, this particular map is not a very good one. It's one of the new maps. I know it. I can picture it in my mind. It's a big map. I believe there's even a version of this map that allows you to bring sparrows with you, but it's not going to be pretty for people who don't play Trials that often. However, if you're looking to just get yourself some free Trials loot, maybe an Asura's Care, because you can get that at rank 10, or even a Shura's Wrath at rank 16 without actually having to play Trials, let me know in the comment section down below. You can also do the AFK Trials farming via your computer or Twitch app if you'd like to know a little bit more about that. I have covered it many times in the past, but probably be doing a live stream of Trials sometime over the weekend so people can get some maybe free Trials loot without actually having to play. As like I said, it's going to be probably a very sweaty weekend. This is a really great weapon to have for PvE, which is unfortunate that it's sort of locked behind a PvP focused activity. So that's going to be it for Trials info. Let me know the name of that map. I'm so sorry that I forgot the name, but new maps, sometimes you forget it. You know the one I'm talking about, though. It's all Vexy, really big, probably not fun for 3v3. Last thing I wanted to cover was the GM Nightfall for this week. It is the Glassway Strike. It is awarding the new linear fusion rifle, to which I have a few. The Scintillation. You can get the Adept form if you can finish it on the GM difficulty. Remember, you can still focus the Adept version, or you can get a non-Adept version by doing the Nightfall on one of the lower level difficulties. The higher the level, the more the chance you're going to get one. Envious Assassin and Bait and Switch seem to be the go-to for this one. I have one also with hatchlings on it and rewind rounds, the hardest thing to say. I think rewind rounds are also maybe that and Bait and Switch are also one of the really popular roles, but definitely get one if you have a chance. I took it into the raid last night and it did very good on boss damage, even though linear fusion rifles may not be the thing at the moment. I actually think this is a very good one and very worth the grind. It's also double rank rewards this week, unless you're a warlock like myself, in which case it is glitched, and like Gambit last week, you are not getting double rank rewards. You're still going to get the double loot at the end, but not the double rank. So, unfortunately, if you're going to really head into the GM for some heavy farming on XP, do it on a Titan, do it on a Hunter. If you're just looking for weapons, though, anything is up for grabs. If you want a good tutorial on the Glassway, I posted one earlier this week. Couple of glitches, couple of exploits that you can use in the Glassway to maybe help with your run, as it has been around for a while, but the end is still very troublesome and can catch a lot of people out if you're not really familiar with all the dynamics of when enemies spawn and all of that. So you can check out that video. It'll be linked in the top right corner or at the end. And that is going to conclude all the information for today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2, the Final Shape, or Echoes content like this. Remember, you can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. Any of those things. As I said before, enter you into any future giveaways. We do one every 1,000 subscribers, and When and if we reach 100,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away an Xbox Series X or a video card if you play on PC. If you've watched to this point in the video, you can leave a hashtag Xur or a hashtag Final Shape or a hashtag Sinister or a hashtag Iron Man in the comments section down below for another entry into the next giveaway for this video. Hope everybody has a great weekend farming the activity that you want. And of course, as always, I am Wilhelm Scream. We will see you next time.